This is Marie, World Peas Knits, episode 24. Thanks for joining me. So I'm in a new location and I'm in a suburb of Denver. I've moved since my last podcast and I have my craft room set up pretty much. And I've finished unpacking and everything and I've started on my garden. So I'll show you like a little tour of what I've got going so far in my garden. You know, as long as the hail doesn't get it. Fingers crossed, right? So, yep. So I'll show you that at the very end of the episode. All right. So this is actually a knitting podcast, and I mostly talk about knitting, and then I'll have a tea corner, and then I'll do the gardening at the very end. All right. So this is my works in progress. I've been working on 2 pairs of socks that I have in this little silver shed bag with the owls on it. And I have 2 pairs of new socks that I've cast on. The first one is nitpicksfelichi, and it's in the Countess colorway. And this is an older set that I think that I got because it does have that where you can't see the difference between 2 colors. They're very close, but I still like them. And so I'm just doing a standard vanilla sock, and I have this for my afterthought heel. And yep, that's it. It was 64 stitches, and I'm using size 2 2.75 needle, and it's the nitpicksfelichi. All right, and then the second thing that I have that I'm working on in this bag that's new, a new cast on, I found these yarns when I was moving, or skeins when I was moving, and I was like, oh, I haven't used this, I haven't used that, so I was like, I'm going to start on a couple of new ones. So this is Regia, and they're 2 50-gram balls. That you would need 2 to make a pair of socks. And this set I am making a blueberry waffle pattern by Bev Hearn. It's a free pattern, and it's 64 stitches is what you start off with, or what I started off with. And then it is, you knit the first 2 rows, and then you I'm just looking at my notes. On row 3 and 4, you knit 2, purl 2 to the end. So then you do, knit the next 2 and then purl 2, or knit 2, purl 2, and then knit the next 2 rows and then knit 2, purl 2 on the next 2 rows. So you just kind of go back and forth between that. And you can look it up on Ravelry, the Blueberry Waffle pattern by Bev Hearn. And I'm using size 2 2.75 Knit Pro Zings. And I found that this pattern fits your foot really well because it kind of pulls in and is more stretchy. It's almost like a rib in a way, but it's, let me see if I can show it. It's supposed to be like blueberry waffles, except for I'm not doing it in blue. So, but it's really cute. And then what I'm doing also is I'm doing there's the cuff, and then the blueberry waffle pattern, and then I'm doing, that's my waist yarn, and then I'm just doing knit stitches on the bottom so that when I stand on it, that I'm standing on knit, not on the pattern. So I thought that would be more comfortable. Alrighty, the next thing that I've been working on is my Scrappy yarn blanket, and here it is. And I've done some work on it from the Progress Keeper up So sometimes the blanket, when I show it, it makes the screen kind of wavy or whatever, so hopefully not. So, yep, and so this little peep, this little Easter peep from there up, I've done. And I did some Easter yarns that were left over from socks that I made. And, yep, everything's leftovers. They're all scraps. I started off with a chain of 223 for the crochet blanket, and I used a size F crochet hook, and I'm doing double crochets instead of what the stitch pattern shows or calls for. It's based on the Granny Stripes blanket by Lucy of Attic 24 blog. So great. Maybe I'll show a little bit more of it. I just hate for it to get weird. So there we go. So you can just kind of get an idea. This is just 1/2 of it. So it's about that long. All right, and okay, the next thing that I've been working on is another pair of socks. It's a pair of vanilla latte socks, and I have it, I started it in this season, if you can tell, in the winter, because it's still in the winter bag. But this is a little bag, it's so cute, by the Silver Shed, and anyway, so I've been working on that, and then, let's see, it's the vanilla latte sock pattern, and it's 64 stitches, is what I started off with, by Virginia Rose. Let me see. I think I have a copy of the pattern here so you can kind of see what to look for. And it's a free pattern. And I'm using my my Knit Pro Zings. Right now I'm currently on the heel. And my Knit Pro Zings are size 2, 2.75 millimeters. And I'm using Hedgehog Fibers Sangria colorway for the main part of the sock. And then the pink was just a scrap that I found in my my scrap yarn blanket bag, so I can't remember which. I don't have a tag for it, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm on the heel right now. So basically, when I take away that waste yarn, I kind of pick up, I don't know if you can see this, but I pick it up on 4 needles, putting like 16 stitches on each needle. And then I start to, I'll just show you, start to knit. I knit like maybe 3 rounds or so, maybe 4, depending upon how big I feel like I need to have the heel. But I knit like 3 rounds, and I picked up a couple of stitches on each side. And then I start my decreases. It's really similar to the toe decreases. So there you go. And then and it ends up looking similar to this when I, do the Kitchener at the end, at the very end of the toe. So it kind of, you can't even really tell. It just looks like you knit. And that's exactly what I'll be doing for the heel. So I'll show you those in the, this is the first sock of the set. So I'll show you these, another time when I finished it. So you can kind of see. It's kind of nice to see the process. Usually I don't show it in the middle of the heel. All right, and so the next thing that I've been working on, let me flip over my notes, is, oh, actually, you know what? I have finished objects next. Put this away. The first finished object, I have quite a few finished objects because it's been a little bit of time since I've podcast. And the first set was this Heritage Prints yarn that I used. And let's see, it's color 12. And then I also used this purple for the heels and toes. And this is Frog Tree Pettiboo yarn. And so here you go. Here's the set of socks that I made with it. And these are just standard vanilla socks. This is that Lala's Afterthought heel pattern that I use all the time. And this was 64 stitches. All right, so that's my first finished object. The second one is, let's see, I did a set of socks in Regia, color 4251, 64 stitches, the standard vanilla sock pattern that I'm using, that Lella's Afterthought Heel. And then I used size 2, 2.75 needles. This is what I had left over. And this was a self-striping also. And I used Caspian wood needles, the 5-inch DPNs. Okay, and that's what they look like. There we go. So that's my second set of socks that I completed. All right, and then I had another pair of socks because it has been some time since I did a podcast. And this one was my my yarn that I got when I was with my mom in Canada last summer. And this was Fildar. This is that that yarn that is barber pulled, and I was kind of curious how it was going to look, you know, in a sock. And let's see, it's called Fildar Phil Folk 100, and it has the colorway is Hortensia. And I used 6-inch Chigu needles, size 2, 2.75, and I also used this blue of the Blueberry West Yorkshire spinners for the toes and heels. So these are the two that I used. Okay, and this is what they turned out like, and I really like them. They're so pretty. I do have another ball of this yarn in a slightly different colorway, so I will knit that up because I kind of want to see what that's going to look like. But here they are. So they're really cute. I do like them. These are one of my favorite colorways so far. They're very pretty. Okay, so that was 3 pairs of socks, which is quite exciting to get 3 of my, so that's why I cast on a couple new pair. So 3 pairs. Yay! All right. And then the next thing that I finished was Boomerang pattern from Dramatic Knits. And I used this this Happy Feet splash. I don't know if you can see that. And it's by Plymouth Yarn Company. And it's hand dyed Happy Feet 100 splash. And I used this was my other color that I used in it. I'm just looking to see. It was a Deborah Norville blue. So it was just like some scraps that I had left over from, I think I did like toes and heels of something with it, and then I had this left over. So this is what it looks like. See if I have the correct size or side. There we go. So what I did make some mods on it because I know you know that it looks a little different than the regular Boomerang. So what I did was I knit the Boomerang. So what you do is you start at one end. Let me just see. Okay, yeah, you start at this end. And then you just knit down, and it kind of gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then this is the side where it gets bigger on. And what I did at the very end is, before I did the blue part, is I picked up all the stitches. So I had all of these still on the needle from this flat edge. I had them all on the needle from here because I was like, I was knitting down, making them bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I went ahead and stopped down here, and I picked up all the stitches on this side so that I could then make like a border on it. And so, and then I did a border with that blue color. So I'll just show you. Let me put it on. Oops. I lost the tail. Okay, there it is. Okay, and that's what it looks like. And, you know, of course I will make it look pretty when I wear it, for real. But you get the idea. But I just wanted the border on the edge of the whole thing. And I wanted it to be a little bit bigger because it seemed like it's nice and it's small. It's like more like a scarf, really. Okay, well, you get the idea. All right. Okay, and then, so I think I told you about the colors for that. Oh, I didn't have, this is all I had left, so I didn't even have enough to make another pass, you know, at the long side. So I thought I'm going to add another color to make it just a little bit bigger. All right, and the next thing that I was going to talk about, oh, okay, so, so we have a lawn now, which we didn't have before, and I was out, I wasn't even really going to talk about this, but I was out with a push mower, like mowing it the other day, and there's like this weird cord that kind of goes around, it's like a belt almost, and it goes around and it holds the little, you know, lawn catcher bag on it, and it catches all of the cut grass that you, that you cut when you're pushing it. And I ran over the cord. And so I was like, oh man. And then I went, because I'm kind of out here in the country, so there's really not a lot of fabric shops or anything kind of near where I live. And so I went over to a Walmart to see if they had this cord that I could replace, you know, this little belt with. And then I thought, you know what? I couldn't find it there. And so then I thought, well, I'll just sew something, you know, on my sewing machine. Like I would, you know, get a piece of fabric and then fold it again, you know, and then, so kind of like a binding on a quilt. And so that's what I ended up doing. And I fixed it and we're fine with the cord thing or whatever. Anyway, I told you that to say I had my sewing machine out and I was like, you know, I've always wanted to try to make a little project bag. And like with a zipper and everything, and I had tagged a couple that I found on Pinterest that I wanted to try, and so so I had my sewing machine out. This was yesterday in the afternoon, and I thought, well, I'll try to make one. And okay, first of all, I didn't realize it was going to be this small. Okay, so it's more like a notions bag, really. But this is what I came up with, and it is cute. You know, but it's really small. So, I mean, it's definitely like Notion size, or maybe, I don't know, more like Notion size. But I was able to put the zipper in, which I'm going to definitely, and then I put different lining fabric inside of it. But I do like it. And it was called the Liberty Zipper Pouch by the Sewing Chick on Pinterest. And she had directions. It was like a tutorial. And you made a little bottom for the bag also. And okay, so that's it. I might try again with a different pattern, I think. Or maybe I'll just make, you know, bigger pattern pieces that I try it with. I'm not sure. We'll see if I revisit this whole thing again. But it is cute and I do like it. So, all right. Okay, so the next thing that I was going to talk about is I did a swap in the Knitting Broomstick group on Ravelry. I'm just going to take a drink of my breakfast, my smoothie. I made a blueberry smoothie. It's like blueberry peach. And it's really good. Okay, so the swap in the Knitting Broomstick group on Ravelry. Okay, so my partner, I'm just referring to my notes, was Ashley Knits a Lot, and she's from Texas. And we traded Starbucks mugs. So this is what she sent. She sent this little Texas mug, which is really cute. And I can't wait to use it. And I thought I would show it first before I removed it and everything. So yay. Let me see. Let me put it over here. So there it is. It's so cute. So thanks, Ashley. That was really nice. And also she sent along some treats. So she sent some coffee. She sent along this this coffee from Texas, which I can't wait to try. And then she also sent along some mini skeins. And this is the little bundle of mini skeins. Let's see. There we go. They're so pretty. This one's really pretty. I mean, they're all pretty, but this one is really cool. I wonder what that is. Because that would be nice to have a full skein of that or two to make a little shawl or something. And this one's cute too. All right, and this one? This looks like it might be Desert Vista. Anyway, so she sent this, and she also sent this little chapstick, which is super cute. Yep, a little cactus, and then she sent. Let me see if I can show these to you. Maybe I should take them out of the container. She sent a couple of progress keepers. This little giraffe. And then she sent this little bird, which is super cute. And then some stitch markers. There you go. All right. And then also a little notebook just for taking notes in your projects, probably. All right. So thanks, Ashley. That was really great. Okay. All right. And then the next thing I was going to talk about, oh, she sent chocolate too, which is in the kitchen. So, yeah, I just put it in the pantry. All right. And so the next thing that I was going to talk about is Tea Corner. So I filmed like a little kind of thing that I'm going to put on the end here. I'm going to put that on the end, and I'm also going to put a little gardening segment on the very end where I show you what I'm growing in my garden. So, but the tea segment, I filmed a little video of how you make this blueberry pancake iced tea, which I've had like maybe twice since I've been out here, because I have time, you know, I'm in the house and I'm getting everything all sorted and put away and everything. And so this blueberry pancake iced tea, so you take blueberry jam tea, this is from David's Tea, and then O Canada, which is David's Tea. And I believe these are both teas that they year-round sell. They're not just the specialty ones that come and go. So you take both of those and you make, it's a mix of the blueberry jam O Canada with almond milk. And then I'm going to put this video clip where I'm in the kitchen and I'm like showing you how I did it with, you know, with everything involved in it. And it's super delicious. It does taste like blueberry waffles. Or blueberry pancakes. I'm sorry, I had the waffle batter that I was knitting earlier on my mind. Anyway, it tastes like blueberry pancakes. So you have to try it if you have, you know, the O Canada and the blueberry jam, or if you come across it. And I believe at one point they were selling it in a container where it was like half this and half that. And you could, it was so that you could make the blueberry pancake tea. So, all right, I will show that video clip at the end. The next one that I've been drinking just iced is Berry Poppins. And that is David's Tea also. And I really like that. It's apple, hibiscus, rose hips, blackberry, and that's it. So, yeah, and it's like a red tea. When you brew it, it's really delicious. So I make an iced tea out of that, and that's been really good. And the last one that I was going to share with you that is really delicious is from, let me see, Republic of Tea. And it's this pomegranate vanilla. And it's really good. It is caffeine free. And I made an iced tea with that, and it was really good. And I'm almost out of that, but I don't think I'm going to get it again. I recently found out that I had an allergy to pomegranate, and so I have been drinking the tea just to get through it, but I just can't eat the fruit, I believe. You know, I haven't had the reaction to the tea like I did the real pomegranate, so... All right, and then the next thing I was going to show you was my garden beds. I'm just going to tell you briefly about what I did. In the backyard, okay, so the backyard of this house has like a slope, kind of. Like, it's for drainage. Actually, all the way around the house has kind of a drainage kind of slope. So it's kind of at an angle. And so what I did was I dug in. You'll notice when we go back there, because I'll like take the video back there and we'll check it out. But I kind of dug in the area where I was going to put the bed and then made it flat instead of like, you know, I wouldn't want it like this because then the water would run down and only the plants down here would get like overwatered and these plants would be dry. I don't know. I just thought it wouldn't work very well. And I walked around the neighborhood and I noticed most of the people who had raised beds had done this. So what they do is you dig out the spot that the bed's going in and just make it straight. And then there's kind of dirt going this way up the side of the bed. So, which is fine. I mean, I just want to grow vegetables. I don't really, you know, care what it looks like. So, all right. So, anyway, what I did was I put in a 4x4, so 4 foot by 4 foot herb box, and we'll go back there and look at it. And I also put in a 2 actually 4x6 foot boxes also were raised beds. And what I did was we went down to, my mom came out here and she helped me get all the stuff I needed together to make the beds. And then one of my friends came over with some power tools and we built the beds. And then I put them in and got all the dirt, a couple trips back and forth to like Lowe's and, you know, and so it's all ready to go now. And let's see. I was going to say what I have in the beds, but I'll show you, you know, when we go out there. And also I have a little thing on my front porch where I'm doing seeds. So in case I get like hailed out again, like last year I had some hail damage and I lost my garden twice and the old location that I lived. And so this year I am going to have some backup seeds, you know, in case I lose something, I can put a new set in. So that's my plan. If not, I don't know what I'll do with them. Maybe I'll just give them away to other people who would like, you know, Craigslist or something, plants if I have too many. So, all right. Thanks for joining me. Just stay tuned if you want to see about the blueberry pancake tea and the garden. Bye. Hi, I thought I would show you one of my favorite teas that I've been drinking lately. It's blueberry pancake iced tea. So I'm starting off with 2 different flavors of tea. I have O Canada and blueberry jam, David's tea. And then I have some agave, some organic agave, but you can use any sweetener of your choice or no sweetener. I have a jar of ice and a straw, and then a steeper, and then I have some coconut milk, and then some hot water. I'm going to add 1½ spoons of the O Canada, and then I'm going to add 1½ spoons of the blueberry jam. Next, I'm going to add the agave, just to taste. And then the hot water. And I'm just going to fill it up to about just above that David's tea line, just above the word. And then I'm going to let it steep for like 4 to 6 minutes. Or you can actually, I let it steep even longer than that. And then I'll be back. Okay, I've waited the 4 to 6 minutes or so, or longer, whatever you'd like, on the steep. And now I'm just going to go ahead and put it into the jar, or my glass. And then I'm going to add the coconut milk. And then stir it up and enjoy. It's really delicious. Thanks. So these are my seeds that I'm planting. Okay, so I'll just show you. Cucumbers, parsley, cilantro, patty pan, squash, zucchini, basil. What is that? Oh, 8-ball squash. Oh, yellow tomatoes, catnip, and then I have some basil plants that I haven't planted yet, and then these are asparagus plants. So here's the first bed. It has some tomatoes. These are sun gold tomatoes, and I put 2 plants in each cage, and then some chocolate bell pepper plants. And then I have some Golden Girl tomatoes, and then another chocolate bell pepper, and then some sweet banana peppers. And then the next bed, this bed doesn't have anything else in it yet. I'm going to put the squash and everything in there. And then this bed is all seeds. Starting with carrots and Swiss chard and radish. 2 rows of radish. And then red beets and golden beets. And then 3 types of kale. Just in these rows right here. And then on the back side, I put some dinosaur kale and some Tom Thumb lettuce, just right here. I just wanted like 2 plants of dinosaur kale because they get so big. And then in this one, this is my herb and onion box. And this has yellow onions and red onions. And then on the back side of the onions are a super sweet candy onion. So there we go. And then I planted a little tiny row of green onions, like right here. So those will be like the green cutting onions. And then cilantro. And then this is mint. And parsley. I have several parsley plants in here. Some of them came from the last house that just came up volunteer. And then tarragon, this came up from the last house. And then chives. And that came from the last house. And then there's a little rosemary plant, which I bought. And that's it.